This night musing is going to deal with some disturbing content. This is inspired by an experience by a friend of mine, and this is one of those incidences and moments when you have to give a person the permission to do the unthinkable. And in this instance, this friend of mine was experiencing extreme irritableness and aversion and an outright hatred for Jesus and for the term Christ and all these biblically related terminology and language. Most people would be shocked at such behavior, at such expression, and would in all likelihood call it demonic. But it is not, and I want to explain this in the best way I know how. I'm qualified to speak on this because this is something that I personally experienced and went through myself as well. And in some instances, this is part of the deep soul retrieval. And in order to be able to do deep soul healing and therapy work, one has to be willing and able to give a soul the permission to hate Jesus, to hate God. One has to be able to give permission and allowance to a soul to express this, because this deep pain is a soul cry that stems from the core wound of soul self-abandonment. And this is one of the deepest works that we have to do in some cases. And in order to recover one's identity and soul resonance, or soul song, we have to divorce ourselves from everything that separated us from our own soul. We have to divorce everything that stood in the way or that came in the way between the conscious realm, the conscious space between mind and soul, between heart and soul, between me and myself, to put it in plain language, and to to be successful in retrieving a soul from such deep core wound, one has to be able to give permission for that soul to roar and to cry out and to clear out the space and to clear out all the concepts of God and Jesus and Christ, if these are concepts of the mind that have caused us to divert and split in our soul and divert energy and attention away from ourselves onto another deity, onto another entity. It's like an energetic leak, energetic vampirism. And for the soul to recover itself, these streams have to be cut off. And sometimes that has to be expressed as, I hate Jesus. And as a soul therapist, one has to be able to hold space and to affirm the soul, not punish or reprimand the soul of wrongdoing. The soul needs all the affirmation that it can get, because it's coming out of the abyss of non-identity, of invalidation, of rejection, of abandonment, and mostly self-abandonment. And to raise a soul out of self-abandonment, we have to give it self-affirmation. And in such an instance, it does not help to affirm Jesus and to deny the soul. So I hope you as the listener will understand what we're dealing with here, and we can suspend all judgment and lend the support that such a soul needs. Oftentimes, people have experienced religious abuse, satanic ritual abuse, in which biblical content and the name of Jesus was used. It's not always possible to heal such a person in quote unquote the name of Jesus. That can exacerbate the wound and the problem. So, as an empathic soul and a soul therapist, one has to be able to hold safe space for this type of expression, and lend this person and this soul the full support, and to infuse in them unconditional love, and instill in them that they matter, that they are the most important essence in the universe. This is what the soul needs in order to heal. It needs to be reaffirmed in its divinity, in its source identity, in its I am identity, and first person I am identity, not the second wheel on the wagon or the third or the fourth wheel on the wagon. This soul is the primary God essence, and it needs to be affirmed at whatever requirement. And so sometimes such a soul is in need of expressing such disregard and sometimes hatred for the concept and idea and person of Jesus. But one also needs to remember and be reminded that this dialogue is merely taking place in the mind or the psyche of the person, and no one is actually getting hurt. No real person by the name of Jesus is getting hurt. This is a psychological struggle, and it's a battle fought between concepts and ideas and definitions. That is all it is. No one is getting hurt, and we need to see to it to heal the soul in whichever way we can.